365.
Good evening, thanks for joining us for Premier League tonight. The highest scoring Saturday of the Premier League season was what I was going to say, but there was only one goal here at White Hart Lane, so I can't. Instead, I will just say get in touch with the show. Use the hashtag PL tonight, because this show is all about you. Owen Hargreaves joins us. Nice to see you, Owen. Hot footing it from the com box. You've not lost your pace. There were headlines from today. It's been an amazing day in the Premier League, and the very first headline is Everton for the title. Are they? We'd love you to get in touch. Can anyone stop Chelsea now? If you're a Chelsea fan and perhaps you believe you can't win the title, we would love to know the reason why. So headline one, Everton for the title. One Hull of a win. What a difference Marco Silva has made since he arrived at Hull. A victory for them, and not just any old victory either. 2-0 against Liverpool today. And Sunderland, another fantastic result for his side. They needed that. 4-0 away at Palace to build on that 0-0 against Spurs in the week. Suddenly things are looking up, but they still remain bottom of the table. That is the amazing thing about the Premier League at the moment. You can win a game away, 4-0, and still be at the bottom. Right, so if you've not seen the show before, we have something called Hot Topics. Whatever you talk about on social media will dominate what we discuss here in the studio. Blues opening the gap, so Chelsea is the most talked about subject on social media at the moment. Liverpool's woes, Sunderland, all sorts of stuff to discuss. Make sure that you get involved with the show. But let's get the show on the road right now. We're going to start by hearing from Rory. He's a Chelsea fan. Rory, the floor is yours.
I am absolutely overjoyed with that. It was such a complete performance, and I can safely say it now. We're going to be champions. We've done it. Nobody is catching us. I cannot believe I'm saying that to you before anyone's even bought one Valentine's Day rose. It really is an incredible achievement, and there's no reason now why this team can't go on to greater things. You know, there's no reason why we can't win a double. There's equally no reason why we can't eclipse Manchester United's record of, 18 points I think they won the league by. This team can go beyond that. This team is going to finish so far clear of the chasing pack because nobody has the minerals to catch us. Nobody has it in them. We have such a perfect combination, and it's all thanks to one man, and that's Antonio Conte. We're champions.
Nobody's going to catch us. Anyone disagree with him?
No.
They're definitely not going to win by 18 points.
Why not?
Because I think Spurs got the best defence in the Premier League. I think Spurs are legitimate. They'll push Chelsea. It won't finish. I don't even think it'll finish 9 points. I think City are going to come again. Company's back. Fernandinho's back from suspension, and Gabriel Jesus looks like a superstar. So that's almost 3 new signings. I think City are going to push them close, but Chelsea
they're 13 points behind them at the moment.
Chelsea are going to win it, and they're the most consistent team. But I think Spurs and City are going to make it more interesting than it is right now.
What do you think? Do you reckon Chelsea can bridge this 18-point gap? That was the largest winning margin that United managed.
I don't know. Listen, I just kind of think there's a long way to go, because as much as the way Chelsea are playing well, they're not playing in Europe. You know, you never know in football. You know, Costa gets injured, Hazard gets injured, something happens, and it can change the dynamics of the way, you know, what happens. I mean, if they keep all their players fit, then I can't see. I agree with Owen. I don't think no one's going to stop them, and you know, but maybe they could eclipse at 18 points. I don't know, but they're definitely going to win a title.
Okay.
I don't see them winning by 18 points.
No way.
No, I'm with Owen and Paul. I think that Man City are starting to play, and they will close the gap. They won't catch them. So will Tottenham. They'll push them.
What about if I show you the remaining fixtures for Chelsea this season? Because this may well make you think again. So these are the remaining games in the Premier League. And have a look down there. At home, City. Away, Man United. Those are the only games they've got to play against the top 6.
You know, but you can't look at it. Stoke away. When has that ever been an easy
When's
game?
Everton away?
Well, every game seems to be an easy game for this Chelsea side.
No, I
Bournemouth
don't agree.
away, West Brom away. Look, I agree. It looks easy on paper. The Premier League isn't easy on paper. Ask Pep Guardiola. Every game is a battle. Burnley is a battle.
Look at today's result. Look at every day's results. If they were that easy, we'd all be doing the football pools and every week. It doesn't happen. Although I did it today. All my results came up. I did pick 5 teams. I will take credit for that today. But other than that, I mean, it's so difficult. I watched Palace in the week go to Bournemouth. They go there. They were excellent. Palace beat Bournemouth 2-0. I thought they looked really strong. I thought they're going to run there. They can't get beat 4-0 by Sunderland at home today. How could you see that?
Yeah, but Chelsea are not going to do that, though, are they? Because they're consistently
what I'm
strong.
saying, you just can never tell on any given day what's going to happen, can you? We saw them come here to Tottenham the other week. Tottenham beaten fair and square 2-0.
Incy's right. If they get an injury, they haven't had any injuries. They've played virtually the same team like Leicester. Say a Kante or a Matic or a Costa or a Hazard. I think, you know, right now they're flying, and the manager deserves a ton of credit. But I still think it's going to be more interesting than it is right now.
I tipped them at the start of the year, Chelsea.
Yeah. Are you telling them that
And I put my money where my mouth was. Huh? I was with Chelsea at the start.
Based on?
I just thought they could never. They won the league the year before last. They were the best team. Last year they massively underachieved, but you still looked at them and thought Costa, Hazard, they're better than what they've showed. What a strong-looking squad. They've got men there. They've got people like John Terry don't get in the team suddenly, but they're strong outfit. And you look and I thought that for me they were my favourites this year.
Did you back them at 25-1 after they lost to Arsenal?
No, when they got beat at Arsenal, I thought I've done my money.
Jump ship.
Yeah, I did. After them couple of games, I thought that it doesn't. Maybe I made a wrong call here, but since then they've come back.
But to be fair, I think Owen's right. When he mentioned, you talk about Costa, you talk about Hazard, but Kante, that he's been the main one since he's left Leicester. They look like they're struggling to stay up. Now he's gone back to Chelsea. They look like they're going to win the title. So, it's all having all these flair players, but someone like him who just, he works for 2-3 people, doesn't he?
He does.
And
What happened to him last year?
He covers so
What
much
happened
ground.
last year? Isn't it amazing? What happened to Hazard last year? What happened? You put him in your best 11, but if you're looking for your best player, not for me.
OK, Ashley, thanks for getting in touch with the show. Let's hear from another new contributor to the programme. This is Faz. He's an Arsenal fan. He's been watching Premier League tonight. He wanted to be part of the show, so here he goes with his debut on the programme. Faz.
A second defeat. How long can this carry on, Wenger? I cannot stand the guy now. Wenger out. 12 years since won the league. There's no emphasis. It's humiliating watching him every time play a team and get stuffed. Literally, it's time to bring someone in. Wenger has now become a serial loser and he's destroying his legacy. He should walk away and let someone else come in. Wenger out, Wenger out.
Strong opinions from Faz. Get in touch with us now. Use the hashtag PL Tonight. Wenger in, Wenger out, and why? What do you think? Harry, what do you think?
He's been a fantastic manager over the years. The job he's done at Arsenal, it's been
You
incredible.
say has been a fantastic manager.
Has been
over
a
the
fantastic manager. Maybe it's time for a change. Yeah, I can't sit here and get... if they don't win the league, which it doesn't end up going to win the league this year, maybe Arsenal will look at it and think, well, hang on, I've been incredible, the job I've done here, and leave while he's still... Where he
Is that squad good enough to win the Premier League?
I'd hate to see him get hounded out of there.
Well, do Chelsea have better players than Arsenal? I'd ask you. Do you think Chelsea have better?
Well, what do you think?
I think Arsenal. I think Conte could go in and do a similar job. I think Chelsea don't have the best squad for me, but right now they're the best team. Arsenal have terrific players, no denying that. I don't think anybody today thought Arsenal could go to Stamford Bridge and win. Nobody. Not even Arsenal fans, I don't think, thought that today. And Arsenal just proved that point.
But Conte, when you look... and he came here and we all thought he would play with three at the back, because that was his system, wasn't it? 3 central defenders, wing-backs. That was his system at Juventus in playing with the Italian. Suddenly he didn't do that. And it took a couple of good idings for him to change and suddenly go and play that way. Why didn't he play that way at the start, I wonder?
So if Arsene Wenger needs to get the sack, what are we saying about Pep Guardiola, who you could argue has got a stronger squad at Manchester City and is below Arsenal in the league?
I just think we're missing one thing here, because we all talk about players and who's got the better players and who's not got the better players. The reason why Chelsea are where they are, because mentally they're tougher.
Yeah.
They've got bigger characters.
When you
look at
absolutely,
the centre halves, you look at Costa, they're men. They've got a belief around theirs. I don't see that with the other teams. So you can compare them from ability point of view, but from leadership and
is
character.
That from the manager?
No, that's the players. That's from within. They've even got a John Terry in that dressing room who's not playing, but he will be in there before the game, sorting people out, John. And they have got winners. That's what. For the start of the year, when I looked at it, I thought if Costa comes back to what we know he's capable of, he's not a better centre. What a centre forward, and they've done it this year.
Just a few tweets that have come in throughout the day. Piers Morgan, where's your self-respect, Wenger? If you care about our club, then for God's sake resign. Miguel Delaney, a journalist for The Independent. Great a figure as Wenger is, it's been clear since at least 2013 Arsenal need to change. You get abuse for that every time, but it's logical. Alex Shaw, who works for ESPN. Easy to forget how much Wenger did for Arsenal early on. These past 12 years years are shredding his legacy. Here's a tweet that came in from Henry Winter as well today. And again, you know, really forthright. Same old, same old. Hashtag AFC continue to drift under Wenger. Those fans who protest have every right. Too few leaders on and off the pitch, which is what you were saying. And a tweet has just come in live to us from Jamesy C using the hashtag PL tonight. Do the same at home if you wish. Who's best to take over from Wenger? Because that's the thing. You can talk about who to get rid of, but who comes in and does a better job? Eddie Howe's the favourite currently.
Yeah, but they lost 6-3 today.
They lost 6 today. They lost 2-0.
So he's managing Bournemouth, isn't he?
Yeah, Eddie's an excellent young manager. Excellent young man. I'm a great fan of Eddie Howe. But you're going to go and put him in at Arsenal. It's a different ball game. The pressure is different. It's different managing Bournemouth and doing what he's done. Now, you know, in time he will step up. Whether it's going from there to an Arsenal, it's a very difficult one.
I think Arsenal, as good as they play, I think they need to find another identity in terms of a plan B. They play beautiful football and they can out-football plenty of teams, but they need to find a way to win tight games. You know, a tight game, a 1-0, grind out results. They play beautiful football. When they out-football people, then they're at their best. But they can't grind out a result in a must-win game. Chelsea have done that all season. I think Arsenal need to look at some of their players that they have and have players that can grind out results like Chelsea have done all season, because that doesn't just come from the manager. I think that comes from the ethos of the whole football club. They used to have them, Vieira, Petit, all these kinds of players, and I think they need them at Paul Ince.
As Paul said, characters. They look to me like they're on easy street, a lot of the players there. I watched them at Bournemouth a month ago. OK, they came back from 3-0 down. They had their first shot at goal after 70 minutes. I'm sitting there, I thought, what a pathetic performance. And they end up nicking a draw in the end. But it's not good enough. And they're short of characters. Where's the leaders?
It can't be
Who's
for
a leader?
Arsene Wenger as simple as going and buying a leader, because surely, if that's the problem, he goes and does that. They've got the money.
But where do you find them?
But to be fair,
other teams managed to find them.
I mean, he said today that he could have bought Kante. He said, I could have bought Kante. Well, if you could have, why didn't you? You know, because Chelsea have gone and bought him. He's a leader. He's a character.
Man City have Fernandinho at type. You know, with a heart. You know, plays with a passion. Matic at Chelsea. Those players are there.
I mean, the last thing you come out and say, I could have got Kante.
Look,
but the fans know how much money he's not spent on players, and they will say, could have got a Kante. You haven't got to be 6'4" to have character.
No.
You know,
definitely
it'd be like a Fanidi or something like that. And they're out there. You just sort of go looking for them.
A tweet just in from Gage. Do you think Diego Simeone would be the ideal replacement for Wenger?
He'd wake them up, wouldn't he? He'd wake a few of them players up.
I'm not sure about his style of football.
No,
because I've watched that.
It won't work at Arsenal. That's too far the other way.
Yeah,
they played against Bayern. They had about 25% possession. That's not going to work the Arsenal way. They need
a bit like Leicester. They kind of
sit back and sit
back. Yeah, I don't think he'd be good for Arsenal.
Aim for Macaulay says claims for Wenger out are outrageous. Consistent club year on year, guaranteed Champions League football. Why are fans so greedy? When you look at the finishes under Wenger, I suppose the final question here is it that bad?
No.
Is it that bad?
No,
it isn't. No.
Well, it is that bad, and it is that bad. So I'll tell you why, because these fans, they've got the stadium now, it's all been bought, paid for and everything else. These fans want to be competing with the top teams to winning something.
But what
now,
right
okay,
Paul?
So it's okay saying, we finished fourth, we finished third. You know, they want to be competing to win titles, and that's what the fans want.
Right, they got to finish above the Man United, Man City, Tottenham.
Well, to be fair, the last 2 or 3 years, they've had a chance to win the title. Well, Leicester won it last year, they were up there the year before, and they keep performing by the wayside.
If they're under achieving this year, well, what are Man United doing then?
Exactly the same thing.
But they went out and did something about it. They went Pogba, they went and got Mkhitaryan, they got Ibrahimovic. Arsenal need to go out and get players that will get them over that hump. They haven't done it. And that's not just Wenger's fault, that's the club's fault.
OK,
they'll still probably finish top 4.
OK. We could debate this all night till 9 o'clock. Sadly, we haven't got the time for that, but we do want you to get in touch, particularly if you're a Liverpool fan. And we're going to speak about Merseyside in just a couple of moments. So if you're a red, you're a blue, whatever you think, get in touch. Use the hashtag PL tonight. So Liverpool and Everton get discussed next. And also your 3-word match reports. Tell us right now who you support and 3 words that sum up your team's performance today. And we'll also talk about Frank Lampard at the end of the show. Any thoughts about Frank? Get in touch with that as well. So I've got lots of tasks for you. You've got a busy ad break coming up, so get to it. See you in a second. Welcome back. They're still chatting in here. Thankfully, they're discussing football and nothing else. OK, 3-word match reports. Matt Pearson is a Liverpool fan. Tactically figured out. We'll discuss that in a moment. Jane Cooper, Marco, Miracle Maker. She's obviously a Hull fan. And James, Arsene Wenger out. It's fair to say there's been plenty of those. Right, let's get on with it. Let's talk Liverpool. Here's Gareth.
Absolutely awful today, Liverpool. Absolutely awful. If you're going to try and win a match away from home, the first thing you do, the cornerstone of any performance away from home, is having a solid defence. Is not conceding stupid goals. Liverpool concede 2 of them. They've absolutely gifted a very poor Hull side 3 points, and they haven't given the attacking lads a chance there. I mean, the more you wear Hull down, the more you let it go later and later, the more chance you've got of winning. We gave them the 2 of the softest goals I've ever seen Liverpool concede there. It's the worst performance of the season, that for me. Terrible.
Well, look, the defence seems to be the focus. If we take a look at the Premier League table on the 19th of December, though, we can see the difference. There they are, Liverpool, sitting second, 3 points behind Chelsea. It's such a strange situation, this, because I think as much as those defeats and the poor results for Liverpool have been surprising, it's also the fact that none of us really saw this coming. They were flying up until Christmas. What's happened here?
No, I mean, I think for one, they lost Coutinho. I think that didn't help them. But, you know, we was never convinced about Liverpool's defence. You know, he went with Clavan and Mignolet and he kept changing. I was never convinced about him. But what they did from an offensive point of view, you know, they used to steamroll teams in the first 45 minutes. Yeah. You know, get 2 or 3-0 up, then playing counter-attacking football. And you talk about now teams, if you look at the Swansea game, Southampton in the League Cup, even the Wolves game that I did for BT, they've got a game plan against them. They know they defend deep, they keep the midfield crowded, and let them cross balls into the box.
It takes us back, doesn't it, to that forward match report that's just come in, which is Liverpool found out.
Well, I think the biggest problem for Liverpool is, I think, you look at Spurs today, one of the best goalkeepers in the country in Lloris, best back 4, concede the fewest goals. They give themselves a chance. You know, they're in every game, and then you got Kane, you got Son, you got Eriksen, you got Dele Alli. I think Liverpool don't, keeper-wise, they have issues. That back 4 has issues, and I think it needs surgery. I think offensively they can compete with virtually anybody in the league.
Were they overachieving?
Yeah, they were. And I think they don't have a defensive thinker in that midfield. They almost have a front 6 at times. Henderson is more of an attacking player. You think about all those players, you know, Wijnaldum, great player, Lallana, great players, but you need a Kante-type player in your team to snuff out attacks, and I don't think Liverpool have that.
But they had time to get one.
They had plenty of time,
They've had time to go and do something about it. I mean, the kid who spoke just now, he knows what he's talking about. I've heard him before when he's phoned in. He knows what he's about, and they can't defend. They're short at the back. There's question marks over the goalkeeper, whichever one plays.
So how, as a manager, do you defend being at a club for 18 months and still not be able to build a defence that's good enough? It's his team by now. He's at
they've won 1 game in 11.
Yeah, but so how is it? How has he not built a defence?
I love Klopp. Comes out, you know, he's been excellent. You know, Dortmund, he's come here. He's you know, I love his manner and everything about him. But 1 in 11, it's a poor. You know, it went out of 2 cups in a week.
If that was Arsene Wenger's run, what would the reaction be?
If that was anybody, you'd be getting pelters. If anyone else was managing Liverpool, the crowd love him, the fans love him. Anybody else, they go and play the other day to Chelsea, they draw 1-1 at home. Liverpool, not a great result for Liverpool. Liverpool could beat any going to Anfield. They're running up after the game, you know, holding a load of holding hands and bow into the cop. I mean. You know, days gone by, I think they'd have been down the tunnel, Kenny and, you know, and Shankly and anybody else. It wasn't a great performance.
But the thing is, Matip on a free from Schalke. You know, you think about Klavan. You know, they have issues at centre-back. Milner is not a left-back, but he's filling in there. They've got issues at goalkeeper. So of the 5 positions, you know, the back 4 and the keeper, they've got 4 that are unsettled. So if you're Klopp, that's the area that they need surgery. Offensively-wise, you know, I think they're set, but he needs to spend a bit of money on that back 4.
Lucas playing centre-half. He can't play centre-half in the top 4 team.
Never.
I mean, you know, and Matic playing alongside him, they're not good enough. Not good. That's that back 4. James Milner's been fantastic.
Brilliant.
He's an outstanding player. But he's ended up playing left back. He's not a top class. He's not a great left back for a top 4 team.
He should be in midfield, shouldn't he?
He should be playing in the middle of the park.
Well, he's had time to buy a left back. He must have had time. Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't fancy Mourinho. Doesn't fancy him at all.
No, nor do I.
But he's had the time to get a left back at least. You know, and he hasn't done that.
You're on fire tonight, H. Have a look at this screen tweet. This has come into us. And this is basically talking about how Liverpool have done against teams where you would expect them to do well. All of Liverpool's league defeats this season have come from teams in position 10th or lower in the league. So Burnley, Bournemouth, Hull away from home, and that'll be Swansea and Swansea home. So,
yeah.
Why is that when you're a team as good as Liverpool? Are they struggling to get up for those games?
No,
not really. Because
they compete in every game.
Yeah.
Bournemouth away.
They were 3-1 up against
Bournemouth away. I'm at the game. They're winning 3-1. You think it's just going to be when they went? It's going to be 5 or 6. Suddenly they end up getting beat.
They get picked off.
How you 3-1 up with 15, 16 minutes to go and get beaten and concede 3 goals?
Because people don't manage the game. Because
it
boils down to them players on the pitch saying, hey, you stay here, you stay here. There's not
too many bodies forward.
4 or 5.
Even against Burnley, they lost to Burnley. I think Burnley had about 25% possession.
They're 2 shots, 1-2.
Exactly. So they need to manage those games because I think they have so many great attackers, but they get too many bodies forward.
2 questions that have come in, just quick answers to these. Gary the Scouser here. Evening, Gary. Question for Paul Lintz. Has Klopp lost the plot? We have no plan B. Has Klopp lost the plot?
No, Klopp hasn't lost the plot.
I think
it's for Paul.
Still Paul's question.
I'm Paul, your area, right?
And the other question...
You've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. Has Harry lost the plot?
We know Harry's lost the plot. And the other part is this, we have no plan B. And that's something we're starting to hear a lot about Liverpool. No plan B.
What is plan A? This is the question.
Harry said me, not
Sorry,
you.
Paul.
What's going on here?
Go on. Here you go.
Go on, Paul.
So
what do you think, Harry?
No, as I already said, Arsenal got no plan B. Liverpool, I've got the same players who always want to come to the ball. They've got no pacing behind. They don't change it. They want to play the same way. And because the players that he's got can only play a certain way, he doesn't fancy Sturridge. And most teams do have a plan B and a plan C.
OK, and Liam says Liverpool should change their playing style. High intensity leaves you defensively too open. So, if it's awful on the red side of Liverpool, it's brilliant at the moment on the blue. Here's Jamie.
I never thought more like singing the blues when Everton win and Liverpool lose. What a day to be an Evertonian. 6 points behind our Liverpool neighbours. What a turnaround in the last month or so. Since the new year, we've been absolute brilliant. Koeman's got the deadwood out, brought in some quality additions. Lookman's going to be a player. But we've got one man who stands up and scores goals, and that's Romelu Lukaku. His goal-scoring record for a 23-year-old is unbelievable. He just gets better and better. Bournemouth had a go second half and really put us under pressure, but we have one man, Romelu Lukaku. Take a booster and enjoy your Saturday night. Come on, you Blues.
Right, this is a call to arms for Everton fans. Get in touch with us right now. What is happening at your club? How optimistic are you? Are you going to finish above Liverpool this season? And guys, just take a glance at that. So that's the last 6 games. You can see that Liverpool sitting 14th in the form table. And that's almost happened by stealth. Everton, in the last 6 games, the best team in the Premier League.
But Jake, not only that, they're doing that with some young players on that side. You think Lookman's going to be a super player. Davis has been terrific as he's come in the side. Holgate in the side. They've got some brilliant young players, so they're still finding a way to compete, even though they don't have these superstar players. Good additions in Schneiderlin, going to make them better. But he's right, Lukaku, for his record, for a 23-year-old, he's the one player that could play virtually... Could play in a Bayern Munich, could play in a bigger team easily.
When you look at those teams and you talk about what's wrong with Liverpool, you look at Chelsea, they've got Costa, big and powerful. Even Arsenal too, so they've got Giroud. Again, you've got Lukaku, big, 6'3", 4 strong. And, he doesn't get as much credit as he should do, but I think he's a top goal scorer now in the Premier League. And he's still only young, as Owen said.
Now, Harry, you'll be delighted to know a question's coming for you.
OK.
So don't answer it. Don't answer it. Please, Stuart Bennett has just got in touch using hashtag PL tonight. Do the same. Get in touch with the show. Can Everton finish in the top 6?
They can finish in the top 6, but we were sitting here a few weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we're saying Everton are getting beat, and suddenly we're saying Everton's back 4 is too old. It's an old back 4. Baines has been a great player. Jagielka, it's falling into pieces a little bit.
Look where they are. 2 points behind Manchester United. Manchester United who spent 90 million quid on one midfielder.
4 or 5 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks later, we're saying now Everton, oh my God, what a team they are. They've got a chance. I mean, I still don't think they'll make the 6. I think they'll finish 7th. I've been all season, they've been my team for finishing 7th. But they're an improving team. Great football club, Everton.
I'm with Harry.
Great club, great tradition.
7th, I think, would be an achievement.
For me, one of the great clubs in English football, and they're Bill Kenwright now. They've got new investment into Alt Bill, and they're on the up.
It's fair to say Everton fans looking at this and do get in touch with the programme. They're starting to think they could finish above Liverpool this season.
Well, it's not impossible, but I think Liverpool...
Paul doesn't fancy that.
I still think Liverpool...
That would happen. Listen, I'm on form. You can see what Evertonians are thinking that, but no, I just think Liverpool got a bit too much.
All right, keep on getting in touch with the show using the hashtag PL tonight. A couple of very quick ones for you. Jake Ball, what a result for Everton today. The future is starting to look very bright. David Bryce, Schneiderlin, Davies, Ross, Garner, Besic, McCarthy. Take a moment to admire our midfield options. And Kieran Bowie. Romelu Lukaku is the best player I've ever seen in an Everton Everton shirts. He's also the top scoring player in the Premier League as well so far this season. Hold on.
Have a fight
He might be 11 years old, Harry.
Oh my God, Everton's
If he was as old as you, then you would have seen some wonderful players.
Great players over the years. What a football club!
If he's 14,
He might be a teenager. Give us your name.
Golden Vision, Alec Young, and Alan Ball, and
I guarantee you. I guarantee you, that
Kendall
guy is sitting
Ball.
home thinking, who's he talking about? They were some brilliant players there, though. Right, in a moment we're going to talk about the bottom of the table. We're going to discuss Sunderland, we're going to discuss Palace, we're going to discuss Hull. We can't do it without you getting in touch, so as always, keep on joining the debates here on PL Tonight. We'll also talk about Frank Lampard at the end of the show, and after the break, your 3-word match reports at Mr. Jake Humphrey or hashtag PL Tonight. The debate continues after the break. Nice. Welcome back. It rages online as well as here in the studio. What?
Nothing.
You can't do that.
No, it's just...
I should think of something else, sorry. Carry on, sorry.
Carry on.
Carry on regardless.
No, Harry, we were just talking about results. Brilliant results.
Yeah.
3-word match reports. Stephanie Bishop, Chelsea the champs. Mark Lawrence, same old failings. He's an Arsenal fan. David, I'm dying inside. He's a Liverpool fan. And Will, Everton fan. Romelu, Lukaku, goal. Right, these are some quick-fire questions.
Long answers.
A simple question from me this week. Will Sunderland survive once again in the Premier League this season, asks Michael Oates.
I have no idea. It's too tight at the bottom. 2 points separating.
You can't have no idea on this show. You're paid to give us an opinion.
Yes, they will survive.
OK. Jamie Ellis, overrated British managers like Allardyce are now getting found out. Silva worked wonders with loans and scraps at Hull.
What about Sean Dyche at Burnley? He's not doing too bad.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
only an old, silly English manager. I mean,
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe
Bournemouth.
hasn't done too bad. No, Silva's come in. They're going OK at the moment. Let's hope they keep it up. I still think they'll get relegated.
And now he sits back and turns around towards you. You know he's not happy with the question. Andy Wilmot, Joe Hart to Liverpool is a no-brainer, surely.
Yeah, of course, makes sense. We look at the last two goalkeepers, Clavan and Mignon, not doing the business. So
Will it happen? Joe Hart to Liverpool?
Makes sense to me. Yes, I think you should do.
Yeah. You'll have
Good one.
OK, all right, let's crack on then. No. This is Michael Bowers. He's a Sunderland fan. He's a regular contributor and he's good fun. Here's what he had to say.
Da 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 da. Yes, there you go. That's the happiest reaction I've done for some time. I can't believe that. I'm still astonished. It's a good time after the games happen, and I'm still in awe. For Palace fans, I will admit this though. This is how it's felt for me when we lost to Stoke, when we lost to Burnley, when we lost to last couple of seasons Norwich, QPR, Aston Villa, Hull City. Although none of them were big scorelines like today, it still feel like that for me. But the goals kept coming. What? How's that happened? How exactly has that happened? I can't believe that. It's a fixture for me. We should have won today. We should be beating Palace. And as far as I'm concerned, get in, fantastic. But I'm not getting carried away yet because we've had good results in the past and still dipped. But come on, lads. Can we do it again? Hopefully. See you later.
See you later. I'm loving the singing, loving the dancing. There's a theme with our contributors this evening. They're enjoying themselves. I suppose the question there from Michael, how has that happened? I mean, Sunderland's still bottom, so it's still not great. But where did that come from
David
today?
Moyes don't know tonight. He doesn't know where it's come from. So
as a manager,
we certainly don't know.
Is that true? As a manager, when you get a result like that, you're shaking your head as much as the
David
fans?
stood there, 4-0 up at half, walking in down the tunnel at half time, 4-0 up. He's thinking, am I dreaming, or has this really happened today?
Why does he think Sunderland should win at Palace? Why? I don't think they have any right to say they're better than go to Palace.
I couldn't see them win it today.
No,
I was completely wrong.
And to be fair,
well, they get a good start and then a bit of momentum.
He's more confident playing Palace than anyone else because Palace are on a dire run.
Palace have got a very good side. We were just talking before in the break. They've got some top class players and they've spent a lot of dough. They spent £40 million on Van Aanholt. They conceded 4 goals today. Obviously, that didn't work.
They were the top spenders in January.
They spent a lot of money. So there's no way Sunderland would go there thinking they knew it was going to be a 6-pointer. Don't get me wrong. But to go in at
4-0 at half time,
he must have thought, God, this ain't
dreaming.
No way. I mean, when does Sunderland ever score 4 goals?
No. La Land.
They're lucky if they get 4 shots. Be honest, I mean, they aren't they?
The good thing is, Defoe will take 2, won't he?
David's walked into a situation that is, what a difficult job he took on at the start of the year. Every year they're stuck down near the bottom. They always just creep out. Di Canio got them out. Sam got them out. Let's hope that, David can get them out. But it's going to be tough.
Every week, you guys, not necessarily you, but whoever's been sitting here has sat here and said, nah, Sunderland, not got enough, haven't gone and bought, haven't done what they need to do. Has that result changed your mind in any way that Sunderland
Listen,
can
as long as they've got Jermaine Defoe and they keep him free from injury, they've got a chance. We've seen there's 4 or 5 teams down here, and it's about getting that momentum. This could change the way they go into next week's game, and I think, there's 4 or 5 teams are thinking, we're fighting against these 5 teams. We've got Jermaine Defoe's a natural goal scorer. If they keep him fit, yes. If they don't, then it's get your coat.
What a good week for him.
Well, an amazing week.
Tottenham, 3 today.
Yeah.
I mean, David would have started the week. If we can get 2 points this week, we'll be delighted. If we can get, and he's ended up
scoring 14 goals for Man United is something, or for Spurs is something. 15 for Arsenal. 14 goals playing in a Sunderland.
And imagine they got him from Toronto. People talking about you can't find players. You can't find players. Well, there's a terrific one. Somehow, for some reason, was playing in Toronto.
How did he end up in Toronto?
Anyway, ridiculous. Still ridiculous. But still,
that's the real question. How did Jermaine Defoe end up in Toronto?
We were going to take him.
We're covering the big topics on Premier League.
We were going to take him to QPR, and we tried to get him. His wages were incredible. He's on fantastic money at Sunderland, but he's a great little player.
Why couldn't you get him in at QPR?
The money, the fee was going up, and the wages were way over the top. But he's been a great player for so many years. What a goal scorer!
He's a goal scorer.
Great professional,
he's a natural goal scorer.
Yeah. Great trainer.
Yeah, natural goal scorer. That's the right way to say it.
All right, brilliant day for Crystal Palace. Awful day for Crystal Palace. Brilliant day for Sunderland. Awful day for Crystal Palace. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Chris, and he's a Palace fan, and I imagine is not happy.
Hi guys, Chris Hamlin, Palace fan, still just about. Awful, embarrassing, humiliated today. Worst performance seen at Selhurst for many a year, and no one to blame but players and management. You can't keep going back to what Pardew did with the squad or whatever. Set-up today was wrong. The effort today was appalling, and it all starts with a goalkeeper who's simply not good enough for the Premier League. No one would be better than Wayne Hennessy in goal, and I don't mean in the positive way. I mean it'd be better having nobody in goal. Absolutely shocking. Don't even know where to go. We've just got to pull a result out of the bag somewhere to make up for what happened today. Awful.
Poor old Chris. That's the biggest headline of the night so far. Chris Hambling has trimmed his beard, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see you next week as it begins to grow again. Right, 5 defeats in 7 under Sam Allardyce. Just try and explain to us why he hasn't had the impact that someone like Marco Silva at Hull has had. Because all of us thought, even if in the long run it doesn't work out for Palace this season, he's the man to go in there and turn it around instantly.
I mean, to be fair, he's done it in previous clubs, and obviously, you know what?
He didn't do it at Sunderland last year, Paul. He did it at Sunderland.
He did kind of.
It took a lot. No, he didn't walk in and have an instant impact.
No, but he kept him up. He kept him up.
The last few games of the year, they
kept him up, didn't he? Yeah.
I like Sam. I'm a fan of Sam.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, I am. But people keep saying last year. They kept up, but late in the season.
They stayed up.
And he'll stay up at Palace.
Well, I'm not too sure. But
he hasn't got a magic wand. He ain't suddenly going to walk in there and make these players that had the worst record in the whole of the football league.
His forte's been obviously going to teams and keeping them up. Now, how much the England things affected him, I don't know. But he doesn't seem the same Sam of old, and they've got a decent squad, and I think he must look to that squad and said, well, I've got Puncheon, I've got Benteke, I've got Townsend, there's no way I can't keep them up.
It's a team that shouldn't even be anywhere near the bottom.
Now, you say that, but they've lost 8 of their last 9 home games, and if I have a look at what you're talking about right now on Twitter and social media, use the hashtag PL tonight. Is this the players' mentality, or does it go further than that? What's gone wrong at Palace, says James. And Jake Hayes, no system can get these players playing well, no manager can, so surely it must be that the players aren't just good enough. And if you take a look at social media, they are starting now, Palace fans, to say, Pardew, Allardyce...
What is their record in the last year, Jake? Their record in the last year is the worst of 92 teams.
It's not the manager then, it's the players, surely.
They were the worst. You laid the whole of 92 teams down in the last calendar year, and Crystal Palace came bottom. I mean, that's incredible.
Last season, Palace had issues scoring goals. They go and get Benteke. This season, they're scoring goals, but they concede far too many. Set pieces, they concede a ton. They concede far too many. Issues at the goalkeeper. Mandanda's gone out as well. So I think that's been the issue. They concede far too many goals. They're chasing games and then conceding more. I think they've got to focus on the defensive part, lump it into Benteke and try and pick up the second ball. He'll win those battles in the end.
They looked a good side in midweek. At Bournemouth. They looked a really good side. They went there, beat Bournemouth 2-0, did a great job on them.
You can't be beaten 4-0 at home.
No, that's what I'm saying. That result today for me was a shock.
He'll be the most frustrated of anyone, won't he, tonight?
Yeah, he'll be spitting feathers.
But he hasn't got a magic wand, Sam.
No.
The players, obviously, Alan Pardew's a good manager. He couldn't get them winning.
Yeah. When they start turning the lights off, you start to feel like you've outstayed your welcome slightly at White Hart Lane, don't you? They're going to keep the lights on over there, hopefully. We are on air till 9 o'clock tonight, regardless of whether they turn these lights off. Let's hear from Will. His side had a great result today.
What a win for City. Marco Silva is the saviour of this football club. His home record now is wins against Swansea, Bournemouth, Manchester United and now Liverpool. Surely we're staying up. We can't be going down. Tom Huddleston is a regenerated figure. He was absolutely superb today. The best player on the park. Liverpool had their spells, never took the chances, and actually in the end we could have won it by 3 or 4. We've gone out there and Everton Loney scored the goal to win the game 2-0. Surely we're staying up. We've got Marco Silva! We've got Marco Silva!
I don't know. How do I know who that is? What I do know is they're in Amsterdam and they still care enough about the football to contribute to the show, so thank you for that. Look, take a look at this. The Premier League 2016, so this is since January the 5th. This is since Marco Silva joined. Hull are 5th in terms of the form table, and you look at some of the teams below them, they're doing better than Manchester United, better than Man City, better than Liverpool since Marco Silva got to that football club.
But imagine that, on top of that, he's lost Snodgrass, he's lost Livermore, and he's gone in and got players to make an impact. Talk about have an impact. I mean, the manager has, he deserves a ton of credit. Those fans deserve it as well. At the beginning of the season, they didn't invest enough with Mick Phelan. I felt sorry for him. Didn't have a goal scorer, but
they've done very well over a few games.
Yeah.
But it's what they do between now and the end of the season.
Still a lot of football left.
They've had a couple of wins. Great.
Yeah, but when you get that momentum, isn't that something that you carry now?
What's happened to Klopp at Liverpool? Then they can't win a game. What does that make him? What does that make? We get carried away. Teams have a couple of wins. In 4 or 5 weeks, like we were talking about Everton earlier. We're saying Everton's back four is too old, they're struggling, they couldn't win a game. Now suddenly they're winning. Now, Everton are fantastic. We could be sitting here in 6 weeks' time, Hull could be banged back in trouble, bottom of the league again. Harry, we get carried away.
All these years in football, and you still try to have perspective. You know there's no perspective in
as I said earlier, Graham Taylor's great quote when he said that when your team's losing, the manager is never as bad as you think he is, and when they're winning, is never as good as you think he is. And I think that's the case. Silva's coming and doing very well. Let's hope it continues. I still think Hull will get relegated.
Hull going down?
Yeah, they're going to be right there for sure.
No, I think they get out of it. Yeah, I think they get out of it. I think they've got a nice little balance to the way they play now. They've put in some players which really energise the whole squad, which is important. And I think they've got a lot of belief about him now.
OK, thanks for your...
Michael Dawson, that's a big plus. What a winner. Great guy, great character.
Thanks for all your comments about Hull this evening. We'll finish with Mick, who says, Marco Silva has made a remarkable impact so soon, yet Mourinho needs a year. I think he enjoyed sending that in to us. Right, after the break, we will read out your 3-word match reports, and we will also talk about the great Frank Lampard. He announced his retirement from football this week. We'll talk about his impact on English football, his legacy, straight after the break. It's getting fun, and we're almost out of time. See you in after the break. Welcome back. As ill-disciplined as ever, loads of 3-word match reports coming in. The Chelsea one says men against boys. They're a Chelsea fan, so they're talking about Arsenal. Ryan Collins, a Palace fan. What Allardyce effect with a question mark? Conor Gardner, Patrick Van Arnholt. Very happy Sunderland fan. And Liverpool, gutless, cowardly, says Zizou 343, and about 20,000 people saying Redknapp on fire. They're enjoying you this evening. Right, loads of you have been getting in touch about Frank Lampard. If you'd like to join in this final conversation, we're off air in about 10 minutes, so send in your thoughts right now. Use the hashtag PLTonight, and we'll start with Raina, who is, shock horror, a Chelsea fan.
It's always sad when a football legend retires, and Frank Lampard is up there with one of the greats. I was so sad to hear that he was hanging up his boots. I grew up watching Lampard, and he just embodied everything that was Chelsea. He just had that passion and that spirit that just helped me fall in love with the game. Chelsea's all-time goal scorer, part of that team that won in the Champions League in Munich. I mean, those are two of the things that stand out to me, but there are countless things that he did for Chelsea, and we'll always be grateful for him. I hope to see him at Chelsea in the future in a coaching role, which he's hinted to. But either way, thank you so much for everything, Lampard, and Chelsea loves you.
Brilliant, and thank you, Rayner, as well. Son of Chelsea, the greatest goal-scoring midfielder in Premier League history, a true role model and hero to me, truly world-class and a legend. John Brayshaw, cornerstone of one of the great Premier League sides. Harry was right. Thank you, Super Frank. And when he says Harry was right, he's referring to this.
But I'm telling you now, and I maybe now I didn't want to say this in front of him, but he will go right to the very top. Right to the very top.
Well, there you are. You heard it here first.
Can I tell you now, there ain't no doubt about that, in my opinion, you know, because he's got everything that's needed to become a top-class midfield player. His attitude is first class, he's got strength, he can play, he can pass it, and he can score goals.
I mean, the big question is, how have you not aged since 1996? But I remember...
I'm going to let my barnet grow again.
I remember people looking at that.
Find me more attractive if I do that. I'm not sure about that. Something attractive to me in them days.
Sandra loves you. You've got to look after Sandra better. That's the problem.
I know.
Right, look, when people saw that at the time, and you remember this, they started going, oh, he's just saying that because he's a family member, he doesn't really... What was it that you saw at that time about Frank that just made you certain?
I saw a kid every day, Jake, and I'm not exaggerating, out there on that training ground when everybody else had gone home. Every day, getting his spikes on. He wasn't quick, wasn't a great athlete at that time. Getting his spikes on, going over the back of the training ground on his own, doing 10-yard shot, you know, twisting, turning off. He went for 10 yards, getting a bag of balls, hitting shot after shot, 25 yards, 30 yards out, just with a cone there. Take it one side of the cone, bang, hitting the target, practicing. Wanted to be a footballer. His dad was a fantastic player. Played 20 years for West Ham.
West Ham did, yeah.
His dad was the best trainer I ever saw, ever. And then suddenly this kid come along and was better trainer than his dad.
What was he like to share an England dressing room with?
Well, the only thing I could say is if you're a young player, mould yourself on Frank Lampard, because he might have not have been the quickest, he might not have the greatest attributes, but I tell you what, if you want to have a career like Frank Lampard, you got to work for it. And he had a dad that played the game and taught him about how to train. But I think that's the most important thing. I see so many talented young kids in the game that don't have the right work ethic. Frank Lampard epitomised what a football player should be. And look what he made of his career. He wasn't the quickest, wasn't the most powerful, but the greatest goal-scoring midfielder in the history of the game. True credit to him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I know Frank very well, you know, and, for all the accolades he's going to get as a footballer, you know, for me as a person, he was second to none. You know, the times you just want to sit down with him. You could talk football with Frank all day long. We've sat down for hours, me and Frank, over a glass of wine and talked football. And he loves the game. He's, you know, he's affectionate for the game, his desire, and just wants to do well at every game. And he's a dying breed. You know, to have those players who actually run into the midfield blocks, who time themselves into the box and score goal after goal after goal. Not just goals, but important goals. And he'll be sorely missed.
OK. Joe Simpson has got a question for you three about Frank.
Frank Lampard has to go down as one of the best midfield players of his generation. The stats speak for himself. His goals to gains ratio as a midfield player is unbelievable. He's won everything domestically, he won the Champions League, and to get offers from Premier League clubs at his age and to play for this long at that level just speaks volumes of how good he actually was. Just staggers me how we never won anything internationally with him and Gerrard at the centre of our midfield.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, it was a fantastic, you know, the boys played in the England teams where we had incredible players year after year after tournament after tournament. And I wasn't involved with them, but I used to look at the players. I mean, we've got better players than anybody, and he was through that era, you know, Frank and all those lads. I don't know. He wasn't the only one. None of them won anything. But
you were there, 2006.
I'll tell you why it didn't happen. We didn't have the right balance in the team. We didn't have enough balance. We had too many terrific players. Imagine, even Scholesy retired.
Too many terrific players.
Yeah, look, football, there's only one ball in a game of football, right? And when you bring all these best players together, Beckham was, you know, used to play the passes. Steven Gerrard did at Liverpool, Lampard. Then you had,
Scholesy.
Then you had Scholesy, you had Michael Owen. How many balls do you have? Those players are used to playing the passes. So in international football, when you used to play the pass, we couldn't get the ball back.
I'm not sure England fans are going to buy the fact we had too many good players.
We did. We needed players sometimes that could be able to win the ball back. We needed a Kante type. We needed more players for the balance of the team. We tried to accommodate all these world-class players, which we had, but we never made a team of it. That is one of the biggest failures, I think, for us. I think our generation, players and managers, these fans, we should have won something with that group of England players, but we never made a team of what was incredible talent.
But the best players don't always make the best team.
Exactly.
You have to have a certain balance, and obviously in my time, I knew my roles as a midfield player was to sit, hold, protect the back four, get it and give it to like Gaza, and people like that. So the balance was right in our team. When people say, can Stevie play with Frank, I think they're both great players, but they both kind of did the same thing. They like to get in the box and score.
It wasn't fair to them to try and make them play in the midfield together. They needed somebody, like Pogba has now with Carrick at United, to support them and to try to fit them in. Wasn't their fault.
No, what a fantastic midfield you could have had with the two of them, with somebody sitting.
%. You would have won something.
Mate, you mean like me sitting?
Yeah, you sitting.
What we needed was Harry as the England manager.
Yeah. Sitting.
DJ Chimpy, did Harry try and sign Frank when he was at Spurs?
No.
Why not? I thought they would have been perfect for you.
No, Frank wouldn't have come and played for me again. No, I don't think he didn't need that. Your uncle's the manager type thing, and I didn't.
When you're a Chelsea legend, it's not.
He was a Chelsea legend, and but he could have played for anybody. He was.
And do you think teams were in for him in January? Could he have had one last hurrah?
Yeah, he had definitely had a couple of clubs in for him,
for sure.
I think he just made up his mind, suddenly that he's doing his coaching badges now, and he's going to get into the coaching and see where that goes.
Well, hopefully, he's watched Premier League tonight and he's thinking, I know where my future lies. Forget the coaching. Get me on BT Sport. Thank you all very much for your company this evening. Really enjoyed that show. So much great debate. And also, thank you for getting in touch in your droves this evening and sharing your thoughts about football. As always, without you, the show wouldn't exist. Right. Huge weekend next weekend. BT Sports Score is followed by Liverpool up against Tottenham from 5 o'clock next Saturday evening. As always, plenty of debate from Premier League tonight. And straight after us right now, Porto up against Sporting. Porto are currently winning 1-0. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. Last word is yours. Good night.
A very poor performance and result for Arsenal at Stamford Bridge today, and our title race is now well and truly over.
We ran rings around Arsenal. It was just an amazing game to see.
Awful, embarrassing, humiliating today. Worst performance seen at Selhurst for many a year.
Yes! Not a happy chappy, to be perfectly honest. Fantastic day for the Blues, happy days, and United will come on for you.
And we just shipped Saka off to Crystal Palace, and now we're playing Lucas as centre-back. Nothing is making any sense.
Andy Carroll, mate, left foot, right foot, headers. Whoever doubted him? Not me. Not for a second. He'll be injured next week.